Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, Salom Kaidula, Executive Director at the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade, talks about the consultation workshop on consumer protection and consumer education held at Hotel Thuringerhof in Windhoek earlier today to discuss the layperson's draft bill with various stakeholders. MIT, through the European Union Support Implementation Plan for Namibia, hosted the workshop as part of the process of developing consumer protection legislation. This workshop followed the review of the first draft of the bill from the 12th to the 14th of March by the appointed drafting committees, which comprise of officials from MIT, the Ministry of Justice, the Communications Regulations Authority of Namibia, CRAN, the Attorney General's Office, and the Namibia Financial Institution Supervisory Authority.
My name is Salom Kaidula, Deputy Director responsible for Consumer Protection and Internal Market Regulation, employed by the Ministry of Industrialization and Trade. So today we are hosting a consumer protection workshop with the assistance of the European Union. This workshop essentially is to bring all key stakeholders that we have engaged during the period of last year, so that we can then discuss the draft zero bill that the ministry, with the assistance of the EU, has developed. The purpose of this workshop is just to get the views of the stakeholders on the zero draft, and also to chart the way forward, because ideally this piece of legislation is very important for our country, and we want to fast track it, but we want at the end of the day to have a law that as Namibian consumers we should all be proud of and we should own it.
A second well in Gulf Energia's Mopane Petroleum Exploration License, PEL 83, in the Orange Basin offshore Namibia has been drilled, and a significant column of light well in reservoirs of high quality was found. GAB will continue to analyze the acquired data during the coming weeks to assess the commerciality of the discoveries, Sintana Energy said in a statement. GAB holds an 80% interest in PEL 83 with NAMCO and local businessman Knowledge Curtis Castors Energy, each with 10%. Half of Castors belong to Sintana Energy. Two significant well column discoveries were identified in the first well drilled in Mopane last year. The continuing success of the exploration campaign further demonstrate the scope and potential of PEL 83, said Kati, Chairman and CEO of Castors. This is another significant milestone for Castors, positioning us for further growth and continued success underpinned by our unmatched position in the heart of the basin, he added. Testament Namibia's Petroleum Commissioner Maggie Shino also commented on the Mopane 2X results, the announcement of another significant discovery, and the appraisal success at the upper target is further testament to the hard work and dedication of the partners involved, as well as another demonstration of the potential for further growth in our oil industry. With this discovery, we are one step closer to harnessing the full potential of this campaign. According to Sintana CEO Robert Bosse, this third light oil discovery in the Mopane complex and the appraisal results at the Avo-1 reservoir 8 kilometers away from the Mopane 1X location provided further evidence of the scale and quality of our exploration portfolio held through our local partners, including Castors. Getting to our next story, President Nangolo Bumba told Parliament that he no longer has any interest in Zaris Energy, a company that planned to develop a power plant in Walvis Bay. He also challenged anyone who feels he is corrupt to take him to court. Delivering his maiden State of the Nation address last week, Bumba, who succeeded as interim president following the untimely death of President Hage Geingob, said he will freely testify in a court of law if he is to be summoned. Try your luck. As SG, you can check the records of the party SWAPO, where he served as Secretary General, and whatever money you think I have. If any people think they have records on me, they are free to proceed to court. If I am asked to go to court, I will. Then the issue of am I in business in the energy? That company, Zaris, has no power and I do not have any share in that company, said Bumba. Now, according to media reports, Bumba's wife, Susichi, became shareholder in Zaris on the 4th of June 2013, just 10 months before NamPower first publicly issued a call on the 31st of March 2014 for proposals to address the electricity shortage at the time. Meanwhile, on its website, the company stated that since early 2014, Zaris has been developing a 200 megawatts gas-fired power plant in the Ukurunga coastal region of Tanzania, and that this project will unlock the regional potential for development as the country is significantly underserved when it comes to power. Zaris Energy, a company in which the president holds shares, has previously been embroiled in controversy after it was awarded a tender worth billions to build a power plant by NamPower. The NamPower tender has since been cancelled. Now, moving on to our story of the day, Namibia is severely food insecure. We tackle this on the other side of the break.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
As previously highlighted before the break, Namibia has been identified as one of 33 countries in Africa that need external food assistance. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization Crop Prospects and Food Situation Report, Namibia is classified as a country with severe localized food insecurity. It was projected that an estimated 695,000 people were to face acute food insecurity in Namibia between October and March, a significant increase from last year's figures. Weather and price shocks, as well as subdued economic growth, are key factors driving the high levels of acute food insecurity. The report further said that with regards to Southern Africa, harvesting of the 2024 cereal crops is expected to start in April, which is later than normal on account of a slow onset of seasonal rains, reflecting typical El Nino conditions that have influenced weather conditions in 2023 to 2024. Cumulative rainfall amounts across large portions of the sub-region have been well below average. It said that key cropping zones in Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, as well as in the more minor cereal-producing country of Namibia, received only up to 80% of average rainfall quantities between mid to November 2023 and February 2024. Significant rainfall deficits were recorded in February, a period when moisture stress tends to have a more acute impact on crop yield potentials, and remote sensing data indicated stress vegetation conditions at the end of this month. Furthermore, warmer than average temperatures and an erratic temporal distribution of rains are additional aggravating factors. The report said that the weather outlook points to continued below average rainfall amounts in March and April, suggesting a low likelihood of any recovery in cereal crop conditions, and yields are therefore expected at average to below average levels in 2024, according to the report. In most countries, cereal prices were at higher year-on-year levels in December 2023 and January 2024, reflecting the cumulative impacts of weather shocks on 2023 domestic production, elevated international commodity prices, and weak currencies that intensified exchange rate pass-through effects to domestic prices. After the break, we take a look at our Community Talk segment. The Agriculture and Water Minister says water has been taken for granted. We get into this on the other side of this. Getting into our community talk, Agriculture and Water Minister Kalesh Laitwang said that water has been taken for granted for too long, being wasted and polluted. I'm convinced that the time has come that we must consider access to water a basic human right. We have the right to live, which right becomes moot if water is unavailable. The water right, therefore, must be accepted. Laitwang made these remarks at the commemoration of World Water Day held in Opuwo in Kunene region. Of the total volume of water on Earth, it is estimated that a mere 2.5% is available as fresh water, and of that, 96% is tied up in polar ice caps and glaciers or underground. According to him, the demand for water in the world and Namibia has been increasing and will continue to do so over the coming decades due to population growth, socio-economic development, and increased food production. Laitwang said that climate change is causing disruption of fresh water cycle, and with that, it brings about severe negative consequences. Rising temperatures and increased rainfall variability are already evident on our continent of Africa. He said that in many areas, fresh water resources, which are particularly vulnerable to the effects of climate change and pollution, are declining and becoming increasingly unpredictable and unavailable. According to him, Namibia, with its erratic and arid climate, is particularly vulnerable. Water is of existential importance to households for life, food production, cultural norms, provision of health, education, economic activities, and maintenance of the natural environment, including the wildlife. He said that if water demand is mismatched with available resources, there is a risk of disrupting the freshwater cycle and depleting resources. According to Economic News, Namibia's online mining and petroleum licensing is starting in April. Getting into our economic news segment, the Ministry of Mines and Energy will in April officially launch its online license applications portal. This comes following Minister Tom Alwindo's announcement last year that the ministry will be migrating to a digital system and doing away with paper applications. Alwindo said the new system will make it easier for individuals to apply for licenses wherever they are, and it will limit human interaction with the processes. The ministry has also implemented a submission window period for license applications with 4 windows per year. The move coincides with the implementation of the revised license application timetable that was introduced earlier this year, aimed at enhancing the efficiency of assessing and reviewing applications. Effective 5th April 2024, when the application period opens, the ministry will transition exclusively to online application submissions, discontinuing the acceptance of manual applications hard copies. The ministry spokesperson Ten Hashila said on Thursday. The transition, Hashila said, marks a significant step towards modernization and aligns with the ministry's commitment to embracing digital transformation. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.77, against the euro at 20.34, against the US dollar at 18.68. 2 Namibian dollars and 59 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, platinum and copper went up while gold and Brent crude oil went down. Brent crude oil trading at 0.28%, going for $85 per barrel. In international news, voters in annexed Crimea head to polls to choose next Russian president. We expand on this story on the other side of the break.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Getting into our international news, residents of annexed Crimea went to the polls earlier today to have their say on Russia's next president. Voters in Sevastopol cast their ballots as polls opened on the first day of the presidential election, which sees current President Vladimir Putin likely to win a 5th term, according to national polls. Speaking outside polling station 44 in the city, Marina Korneva told Reuters that voting in the election was a responsibility, a vote only for the peace, well-being and happiness of my children and grandchildren so that everything is calm and peaceful and free, she said before casting her vote. Russia's staging of elections in occupied territories of Ukraine is illegal and void, the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry said on Thursday, urging international partners not to recognize the results. Let's now take a look at our weather predictions. Katimamlilo can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius. Enana, Oshakati and Ruacana can expect some showers. Ruacana with a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 38 degrees Celsius. Henties Bay, Swakopmund, Walvis Bay, Mariental can enjoy sunny weather. Henties Bay expecting a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 20 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. After the break, we return with sports news from Ari Hohat.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Good day, everyone. Time for international sports news, starting off with soccer news first. That is results from the Europa League. And it was Liverpool that played against Sparta Prague at home. And they were way too strong for them, beat them at home 6-1. And they also won the first game 5-1 at Sparta Prague. So it's an aggregate score of 11-2. And that is for Liverpool to go through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Good result for them. It was most of the top players playing, Mo Salah as well. It's good preparation for the important FA Cup quarter-final that will be on Sunday against Manchester United. And it is Liverpool that won the FA Cup for the last time in 2022. And it's Manchester United's last win was in 2016. In the other Europa League game that was played, it was Aston Villa that had a convincing win against Ajax Amsterdam. It was 4-0 for aggregate score of 4-0, and they also move into the last 8, and that's for the first time since 1998. On to tennis news. It's the Indian Wells tournament that will come to an end over the weekend, and it's now semi-finals time in the men and women's side of the draw. Firstly, on the women's side of the draw, it is Iga Swiatek, number 1 seed. She's through to the semi-final. It was Caroline Wozniacki that had to withdraw in the second set in the quarter-final, and it's Iga Swiatek through to play in the semi-final. She will play against Marta Kostic of the Ukraine. The other semi-final on the women's side that will be played on Saturday, that will be Maria Sakkari. She's from Greece, and she will play against the number 3 seed Coco Gauff. It is Maria Sakkari that is the number 7 seed. On the men's side of the draw, it is Tommy Paul that's going to play against Daniel Medvedev, and that will be in the one semi-final on Saturday. Tommy Paul benefiting from Novak Djokovic falling out early in the tournament in his side of the draw. And on the other semi-final, it will be Jannik Sinner that will play against Carlos Alcaraz. Jannik Sinner is number 3 seed, and it's Carlos Alcaraz that beat Alexander Zverev 6-3 and 6-1 to advance to the semi-final. And to conclude today's international sports news, it is golf news. It is on the PGA Men's Tour. It is the Players' Championship, the 50th edition that started on Thursday. It's the first round. The 4th and final round will be played on Sunday. That's being played in Florida. Lots of money that they play for. It is $25 million the total prize money. The winner taking $4 million. And after the first round, it was most of the favorites that's on top of the leaderboard. It's Rory McIlroy of Northern Ireland, 7 under par 65. And the same score for Xander Schauffele of America, also minus 765. World number 1, Scottie Scheffler, he came in with a round of minus 5, so he's in contention early in the tournament. And then Southern African interest, there's 3 players playing in the tournament from South Africa. Firstly, Christian Besaidnout, a good start, 69, 3 under par. And then also it is Erik van Rooyen, 1 under par. That puts him on 50, tied for 56, so he's kind of close to the cut line. And then Garrick Hugo is 1 over par, so lots to do for him to make the cut for the weekend. That's international sports news for today. I hope you have a great sport day and sport weekend, and we talk international sport again on Monday. Goodbye.
Take a load off and tune into another episode of Brave Namibia, when we take a look at both ordinary and extraordinary Namibians sharing their stories. Brave Namibia is broadcasted on NTV Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. and oneup2.com, and broadcasted on the following Facebook platforms on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Republican, Algemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and all Namibia Media Holdings pages. For more information, contact the Brave team at brave@synergy.com.na. Brave Namibia, for the ordinary and extraordinary Namibians.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Friday evening. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and Sundays from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. This has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us. And from me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.